shows is that the number of complaints have doubled over the last 4 years. The banking industry probably grew by 50% over these 4 years, maybe 60%. So the complaints are growing faster than the rate of the growth of the industry itself. But I mean, that's probably the tip of the iceberg, or even the tippest tip of the iceberg, what gets to the ombudsman. I'm sure you get many more of this within the banking system. And even that is not the tip of the iceberg, because basically the iceberg lies on the other side of this chart, which is the number of dormant accounts. 40 to 50% of the savings banks accounts in Indian banks are dormant, based on the survey that we just did across the 40 largest banks in India. And that's a surprising number. And one, it points to a lot of customers who are probably not even complaining or tired of complaining, and they have already left and gone to some other bank. Some of it could be because of some of those sales programs where the accounts got created due to some incentive programs, and then subsequently nobody operated them. And there's a lot of kind of things. But there is a need for the banking industry to introspect and see why there are so many dormant accounts. Why are these customers not happy? Because beyond the lost customer, it's also a drain on your productivity, because you have to manage the databases and so on and so forth for those customers. Let's look at some of the other measures. Wait times in the branches. Our median across Indian banks on a self-reported basis, we've not gone and done a time study, 12 to 13 minutes. And the worst in our global benchmarks is about 12 to 13 minutes. So you have 3x the wait time in the branches. If you actually look at the turnaround time on some of the products, for example, sanctioning of the home loans, Saurabh shared this slide yesterday. The global median would be anywhere 1 to 2 days. We would be happy if it's 15 days, 20 days, 30 days, right? So we'll be anywhere, the slide says 5 to 8x global median. I think 5 to 15 to 18x global median on this particular dimension. So there is a need for, there is a room for improvement. Is this all I wanted to motivate through some of the data, and there can be more data than can be compiled. So where do we start? Is this regulation an answer? And as Governor said yesterday in his speech on corporate governance, and I'll just quote him, he said, regulation can complement, not substitute corporate governance. And I think that holds true for customer service as well. So regulation, Damodaran Committee recommendations, there is actually a master circular which runs into more than 100 pages actually on customer service, on how banks should do it. I think it's fine to set those minimum guidelines, principles, a level playing ground across the banks. But ultimately the answer would have to come from within the banks, the kind of points we were just starting to discuss here. So what I've laid out here are 6 themes which I think the banks should work towards as they think about customer service. And first one, we started to talk about creating a customer-centric organization. It's going to be a huge change management task, like Mr. Rajiv Rishi just talked about as well. Second is aligning a service model and service models to the customer types, because you're not serving one customer type. You have customers, very premium customers and not so premium customers. All of them demand service. How do you make sure that all of them are happy, right? And in a cost-effective manner. The third is around freeing up the people for customer-facing roles. And I'll just show some of the data here where there are still many people in the branches or in the organization as a whole who are engaged in back office functions versus really serving the customers. Fourth, driving higher adoption of new channels. So the channels are available. Are we able to get customers to adopt it, get them over the hump? Fifth point, we talked about briefly empowering the branches. And last point, using the right metrics. So not just measuring the complaints, but really measuring things like turnaround times and so on. So starting with the first point in a little bit more detail, which is how do you create a customer-centric organization? And I think you start with having a holistic view of a customer. And you have to address all the customer touch points to the bank. And because we have Mr. Aditya Ghosh here, I thought I'll just pick up an example from airline, where from booking a ticket online to an SMS alert to check-in at the counter, service when the flight leaves and arrives on time, in-flight experience, if there is a loyalty program, how is that getting delivered? So it's a full circle. A customer experience you across a lot of channels, a lot of different ways. And to create a customer-centric organization, you have to start thinking from the customer's perspective how he is interacting with the bank.